Sawadee-ka. Thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and on NBT World. It's Sunday and the date is July 5th of 2015 and you're with me, Sandrahan Utsaha. Welcome to this Sunday segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has pledged full cooperation with Japan and countries in the sub-Mekong region during the 7th Mekong-Japan Summit. In his speech, Prime Minister Prayut expressed his appreciation of Japan's continued support for the development of the sub-Mekong region, both in terms of finance and academic assistance. Prime Minister Prayut stressed that the Thai government was fully aware of the need to address social and economic gaps to create an ambiance of trust among member nations. To promote sustainable prosperity in the region, General Prayut has proposed 4 areas of cooperation, namely regional connectivity, human resources, environmental conservation, and agriculture. According to the Premier, transport and logistics systems of member countries should be closely connected to facilitate investment and transfer of goods and labor. Thailand has played an active role in promoting transnational connectivity by offering financial and academic help to ongoing projects in Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam. In the future, transport links should be expanded to other regions as well. To upgrade the labor market in the Mekong sub-region, Thailand is ready to work with Japan on the improvement of workers' skills and knowledge, and would also like to invite Japan to invest in the sub-region as a way to promote technology transfer. Meanwhile, the country is establishing skill development centers in border provinces to support the labor transfer. While economic growth and people's well-being are of paramount importance, Prime Minister Prayut pointed out that environmental protection was also the key to sustainable development. He reaffirmed the country's willingness to continue to co-host the Green Mekong Forum with Japan. Prime Minister Prayut also indicated that member nations should never forget to reinforce the agricultural sector, which is the lifeline for the Mekong region. He reiterated that member countries should closely mobilize their efforts to ensure stability and security within the region, adding that Thailand was ready to strengthen collaboration with the Mekong sub-region and Japan to achieve these aims. The Prime Minister has said in a nationwide broadcast that whether the election will come sooner or later depends on the performance of agencies assigned, while stressing that Article 44 will be used only when necessary to ensure work integration among the 3 branches of national power. In the latest episode of the Returning Happiness to the People, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha said that the government would be able to fix the election date only after all steps have been achieved according to the planned roadmap, including a public referendum to gauge public support in the new constitution. He said that there was a call for him to fix the date of an election, but the date will be specified only after the related agencies, namely the National Legislative Assembly, the National Reform Council, the Cabinet, and the National Council for Peace and Order have worked in unison to achieve the desired national stability. The Prime Minister also mentioned that everyone should look at all sides of history and the fundamentals of the nation and cherish His Majesty the King's advice to understand, reach out, and develop the country to attain a sustainable lifestyle in the democratic development of Thailand. He also mentioned that Article 44 would be used only when necessary, with no intervention to the current law. It would be abrogated once the new charter is officially enforced, the Prime Minister said. The Prime Minister is now calling on the general public to join the Bike for Mom cycling event to express their loyalty to the monarchy and their gratitude for the Mother of the Land. Speaking about the upcoming Bike for Mom cycling event arranged by the government, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha praised more than 150,000 cyclists who have registered to take part in the event, set to be held nationwide on the 16th of August 2015. He then asked members of the general public to enroll in the event to express their loyalty to the monarchy and to show their unity as a tribute to Her Majesty the Queen. The Bike for Mom activity will be held on the 16th of August of 2015 from 3 p.m. at different locations and routes in all provinces of Thailand. The total number of registered attendees has now reached over 216,000 persons. Interested persons can register to attend this event at worldwideweb.bikeformom2015.com. That's the website. The Minister of Social Development and Human Security has said very few of the disabled persons have joined the workforce, with many state agencies which maintain strict regulations on work suitability. In a general parliamentary hearing of the Cabinet, National Legislative Assembly, or NLA member Wanlop Tangkananurak inquired the Cabinet on the reason why state agencies often reject applicants with disabilities. Minister of Social Development and Human Security, Police General Adun Sangsingkao, admitted to the low acceptance rate of applicants with disabilities by various state agencies. According to him, his ministry has taken steps in creating training sessions for disabled workers. Furthermore, his ministry has promoted the Persons with Disabilities Empowerment Act 2007 among various government agencies in order to facilitate the disabled in entering the government workforce and providing them with access to vocational studies. Police General Adun has also affirmed that his ministry has furthered its efforts in assisting the lives of the disabled by increasing the government pension fund for them from 500 baht to 800 baht, organizing occupational training for around 6,000 participants, and procuring 3,100 low-ramp NGV-fueled public buses. The chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, has acknowledged the importance of the public's right to information. CDC Chairman Bawangsa Uwano delivered a speech on the future of Thailand's media industry after the new constitution takes effect. He said the media played a key role in exercising the rights to free speech in the country, as it is the main body which informed the public on issues of national interest. According to him, the CDC has therefore placed great importance on ensuring citizens' right to information while including the promotion of free and responsible press in its reform agendas in the new constitution. Mr. Bawangsak also said the constitution must ensure that the press be free from state and from foreign shareholders and must maintain the rights to scrutinize government policies. He noted that the rise in the use of social media platforms has made the distribution of information freer, but not necessarily more responsible, as information can be easily distorted in the free domain of the Internet. Thailand is officially free of MERS as the country's only patient has made a full recovery and is cured of the deadly virus. Public Health Minister Professor Dr. Ratchata Nawin said the 75-year-old Omani man, who is the first confirmed case of MERS, is fully cured, and 176 people who have been in contact with him have also been cleared of the virus. He elaborated that the patient has tested negative for the virus during the last 5 medical checks. Dr. Ratchatat noted that Thailand and other countries are still at risk of a MERS outbreak due to a large number of tourist arrivals in the country and due to the kingdom's position as a regional medical hub. Screening measures will continue to be implemented to prevent a possible spread. In South Korea, the virus had killed 33 people so far, and a total of 184 cases had been confirmed. 42 of those remain hospitalized, with 12 in critical condition. An outbreak of meningococcal disease has killed 1 patient in Satoon province, prompting local health officials to remain on high alert. 22 locals who recently developed a fever are being monitored by provincial health units for a period of 20 days. Health officials who came in contact with those under surveillance have also been given medication to curb the spread. A local school where a student has been diagnosed with meningococcal disease announced that the school will remain temporarily closed until further measures are implemented. The school is undergoing a thorough cleaning to prevent the contraction of the disease. Meningococcal disease describes infections caused by the bacterium Neisseria meningitis. The bacteria spreads through the exchange of respiratory and throat secretions. Symptoms can include sudden high fever, severe headache, nausea, and drowsiness. The disease carries a high mortality rate if untreated, but can be prevented via vaccination. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, held a big cleaning day campaign around Ratanakosin Island on the occasion of Thai Health Environment Day, observed on July 4th of every year, with the hope of making the city the most attractive green destination for tourists. The event started with Director of the BMA Environment Department, Suapon Jamrangsi, sending out a group of employees to various places around the island for road cleaning, waste disposal, and landscape adjustment, and tree trimming to improve the tidiness of the area. The targets included surrounding areas of the Grand Palace, the National Museum Bangkok, the Mahajesadabadin Royal Pavilion on Ratchadamnon Avenue, the Bangkok City Pillar Shrine, and the National Theatre. The Cabinet has designated July 4th, the birth date of Her Royal Highness Princess Julapon, as Thai Health Environment Day in order to recognize the princess's contribution to health environment development in Thailand. Meanwhile, the event was aimed at raising public awareness of environmental conservation, which would lead them to sustainable quality of life. Pattaya City Hall has planned to build a trash sorting facility on Koh Lan to solve the resort island's garbage problems. Pattaya City officials have to handle around 40 tons of trash dumped by residents and tourists on Koh Lan each day. Garbage on the island is collected and brought to the mainland twice daily. Koh Lan has its own landfill facility for plastic trash covering an area of 6 rai. However, the existing 10,500 tons of waste the island has to deal with on its own has prompted fears residents' quality of life and tourism might be affected in the future. Although the City Hall confirms the island's landfill facility is still capable of dealing with the current amount of trash, a more systematic waste management is needed to ensure sustainable tourism and health of the island and its people. A budget of 35 million baht has been approved for the construction of the trash sorting facility. The project is expected to be completed next year. The Irrigation Department says its rainmaking operations have paid off, adding water to 4 main dams each day. Since March 1st, the Department of Rural Rainmaking and Agricultural Aviation has conducted 3,100 cloud seeding operations, bringing rainfall in 95% of target areas. 7 million cubic meters are added to 4 main dams along the Chao Phraya River daily. The department has also planned to expand its rainmaking mission in Chiang Mai and Nakhon Sawan provinces upon the suggestion of His Majesty the King. Despite the mission's success, the Irrigation Department insisted on its plan to limit water supplies to more than 28 million cubic meters per day, while calling on consumers to continue saving water as the situation remains critical. Meanwhile, the Groundwater Resources Department is expediting its search for more underground water sources in addition to the 200 newly dug wells. Farmers in drought-hit areas have been told to delay cultivation until August. Affected farmers have been urged to apply for temporary jobs under the government's Income Creation Program. And that's the end of this edition of Thailand Moves Forward. It's time for a quick break, but first let's have a look at the exchange rates and the commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The second core value, being honest, sacrificing, showing restraint and determinations in doing good for the majority.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Physical connectivity, institutional connectivity, and people-to-people connectivity. The power to turn this region into a strong community. Witness the interconnectivity between the 10 Southeast Asian countries in ASEAN Connect via these channels.
Welcome back to Newsline. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, together with the Office for National Education Standards and Quality Assessment, or UNESCO, have announced their ambition to make Bangkok the capital of educational opportunity in ASEAN by stepping up the quality of education in all schools within Bangkok. Mom Ratchawong Sukhumpan Boripat, governor of Bangkok, said that upon entering the ASEAN community, the BMA hopes Bangkok will be the leading city in various fields such as economics, industrial activity, and technology but especially in education and human development through cooperation with UNESCO. The two aim to make Bangkok the leader in educational opportunity in ASEAN by the implementation of an area-based assessment to generate recommendations and development strategies for schools under the BMA's supervision. He added that in order to cope with the growing population of Bangkok, schools under Bangkok's supervision must further expand themselves and must continue to develop the quality of their education to supply a high standard of education to all living in the City of Angels. On to news from elsewhere in the world. Greek election officials began the task of setting up polling stations across the country on Saturday, less than 24 hours before polls were set to open in a referendum which could decide Greece's future in the Eurozone. Leftist Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras called the snap referendum just a week ago after negotiations on a new bailout deal between Greece and its international creditors broke down. The country then defaulted on a 1.6 billion euro loan to the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, and capital controls were imposed, closing banks nationwide. Greeks will on Sunday have the choice to vote either yes or no to austerity demands made by lenders in order for more aid to be released to the country. Polling stations will be open from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. local time, which is 400 GMT to 1600 GMT, for more than 9 million Greeks who are eligible to vote. 4 opinion polls published on Friday, July 3rd, had the yes vote marginally ahead. A fifth put the no camp 0.5% in front, but all were well within the margin of error. Islamic State militants conducted a mass execution in Palmyra's ancient amphitheater, according to the video uploaded on Saturday. The video uploaded to social media purports to show Islamic State militants leading a group of what is said to be Assad soldiers. The video shows the militants leaving notorious Palmyra prison, where the soldiers were said to be held before the execution. The soldiers were led to the ancient amphitheater of Palmyra and lined on stage. 25 men were killed in a shot to their head. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based group monitoring the conflict in Syria, reported on May 27th that the Islamic State executed around 20 men in the amphitheater, accusing them of being government supporters. Tunisian President Beji Caid Essebsi declared a state of emergency on Saturday to hand his government more authority following an Islamic militant attack on a beach hotel where 38 foreign tourists, mostly Britons, were killed. In a broadcasted speech on national television, FCC said Tunisia's emergency law temporarily gives the government more executive flexibility, hands the army and police more authority, and restricts certain rights such as the right to public assembly. In a speech broadcast on state television, Essebsi said the country had experienced several painful tragedies. Tunisia last had a state of emergency during the 2011 uprising against autocrat Zine El Abidine Ben Ali. 4 years after a popular uprising that toppled Ben Ali, Tunisia is facing a growing threat from Islamist militants who the British government has warned may try to carry out more attacks. And young Ukrainians found a fun way to cool off from the searing temperatures of a heat wave in the capital Kiev on Saturday by taking part in a mass water fight at the hydropark island on the Dnieper River. Thrill seekers bearing buckets, water bottles, and toy water pistols made a great splash as hundreds decided to join in on the fun. The mass water fight was organized by a Ukrainian youth organization called Actors and Friends in partnership with other volunteer groups with the aim of enticing young people away from their computers and into the sunshine. The water fight turned wild as participants splashed each other, played games, and dragged unsuspecting friends from the sand and into the river. And that's all we have for you in this Sunday edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, then do feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT. And do check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. Today we're saying goodbye with some highlights at the International Hot Dog Eating Contest in the U.S., which was held to celebrate the 4th of July. Have a great Sunday. I'm Sandra Han Saha for Newsline. Sawadee ka.